The gates of the Temple of the Three Fates now close tight. People no longer pray to a titan who cannot touch the world. Within the inescapable dreamscape, the flower stems nourished by the black tide serve as a swaddling embrace, drowning the young child's soul.
Mother, help me leave this place.
But this time, they didn't receive a response. Only long years of yearning and pain. Like the silence of the Evernight. Days and nights passed. The years turned. Dust covers the glory of the past. The priests have forgotten this titan.
Waiting. Hate waiting.
They watched over the slumbering sprite, gazing at the dull mirror. But a fleeting mirage flickers in the mirror. The shining stars and the lights of the home. And a strange yet familiar voice.
Wake up! Our familiar old friends have already arrived.
Like the newborn dawn.
X musst du drücken.
The ancient chaos was shrouded in silence and shadow. The giant dragon's offspring was born from the earth. Sweet dreams had smothered the giant dragon's eyes and ears. And as they slept, the 100 eyes of Aquila had already opened, and Fagusa had begun to stir the playful waves. Yet Giorios remained weighty and silent. Layer upon layer of peaks enveloped the dragon, cradling them in a bed more grand than any in existence. The giant dragons spent their childhood in darkness. From the moment their bleary eyes blinked open from haze of slumber, they hungered to feast on crude iron and drink deep of molten lava. Until one day, they raised their head and with a low, guttural voice, pleaded to glimpse light. The Titan lifted them up by their ribs, slowly raising them. The dragon's spine sliced through the strata of rock, cutting open the soil. When they reached the surface, they summoned mist woven of the fire of the stars. As though seeing themselves clearly and in full, through the eyes of a giant bird. The giant dragon walked the earth alone. The Titan knew they were lonely and terrified too, and so sculpted new beasts from flesh and bone. In that wild, barren world, the giant dragon led the beasts of the earth. Excessively long life gifted the giant dragon with eyes that could pierce the veil of years. They witnessed the separation of day and night, as well as the entanglement of reason and romance. And even Kefali did not neglect to share with them a chalice of golden blood. The ocean teased, saying, even should the earth sink utterly, they would not rot. Ever since they opened their eyes, the giant dragon rarely returned to slumber. And thusly, that mesmerizing dream that occasionally burst forth at night etched a trace on their memory. The gods they were familiar with were in this dream, and they were as immense and imposing as ever, yet had lost their freedom. Just what manner of magnificent Pathstrider could imprison the Titan's mere reflections? The giant dragon dreamed also of their own path, that great breath from the heavens, or perhaps from beyond even the heavens. They dreamed of silver shards amongst the stars, reflecting the form of another giant dragon. That great cerulean dragon approached Amphorius, the distant whispers roiling, becoming a roar engraved on the earth. They recognized the meaning in that low roar. Its name, permanence. The black tide that blotted out the sky surrounded the city walls. The soldiers manning the walls battered from battle. Melodious chords of music were suddenly heard. A single swordmaster had overcome the waves of enemies. The song flowed from betwixt the blades, breaking through formations as a dorsal fin cleaving the waves. When the last wicked beast finally fell, shattered into pieces amidst the sword's dance, the Frostblade bore no trace of blood.
The legions of heroes under my command are as vast as the sea, yet lack a formidable sword banner.
The commander extended a hand, inviting the musician to join. Should a fish separated from its school glimpse a faint glow, it will swim toward the light. The swordmaster clasped the commander's hand, as though gently grasping the hilt of a keen blade. When the spray of her waves extinguished the fires of war from the holy city, a golden name was engraved upon the stone pillars. The former commander burned the crown to become king.
High Sealands, brave in battle, triumphant in command, I grant you the title Dux Gladiorum. Let us all forge ahead together.
During the banquet after the battle, the weaver tailored for her a splendid dress, and the commander poured her honey brew. Her golden-blooded comrades gathered about her, chanting her new name, urging her to play that splendid music. The candlelight danced and mingled with flowing drink, swords and song ringing out in unison. Yet none knew that was once a lonely melody from the deep sea. The music of revelry continued for a long time, until the whispers of conspiracies were buried in the songs, until the roars of lethal struggle shattered the music. Legend holds that they who bear the weight of a pillar shall one day return to where it stands. Those who tug at the earth shall end amongst the mountains. Those who sow dawn and dusk shall remain eternal in the sky. And she would once again return to the pitch-black sea. And she would once again sing her music alone. The bountiful ocean, with the banquets of bygone days, stir as futile bubbles at the bottom of a glass. Many years later, The song once played by that sword master was played by future generations in the Holy City. The people knew the demigod of the seas was still a noble captain. She possessed peerless swordsmanship and a song that is passed down through the ages. It was just that she had long since vanished. Guests at the banquet sometimes spoke of her, but it was only a prayer between their cups.
High Sealands, melody of the waves, bless our night that we may drink deep and dance till dawn.
Gab's eigentlich Punkte für? So. Ach, da sind ja immer noch mehr. Ja, machen wir so durch, dann haben wir so, oder? Hey, du Nervensäge.
On that day, the dawn promised by the Sky Father shattered in haste. As the black tide surged, breaking through the walls with relentless grace. In a quaint yet exquisite courtyard, two bitter foes meet at journey's end. Their fates entwined in fate's regard. With no escape, no road behind, they trade a weary smile in kind. Together, they gaze at the heavens of fire.
If I can ever see the faint light again and stay alive.
Then, Outlander Nemesis, you I will forgive.
Not long ago, as the romantic demigod closed her eyes, the girl bottled her tears in sorrow, and once more opened the dim-lit garden wide. Two figures step into the courtyard's gate. A general of Kremnos, her body torn, by vengeance bound, by fury swayed. A noble of the Holy City, once wrapped in gold, now haunted by a fate betrayed. A simple injury, or so the girl believed. Yet the two women met with scorn, their words like blades. Because their children fled in love's embrace, while bloodied pasts left scars in place. A feud unbroken by countless years. A chasm carved by blood and spears. This was a sickness beyond the girl's touch.
Just do your duty as a healer, girl.
Family feuds are like sunlight and storm clouds. They cannot mend.
At last, the girl saw it clear. The courtyard's birth in days of yore was born to mend the rift of dusk and dawn.
Then I will make every effort to have you cast aside your difference in this faint light.
Before long, the general's wounds were healed, and the noble's worries gently repealed. Yet when their gazes met once more, the loathing within remained unswayed. The girl then spoke the tale of her Skykin, of a grandmother's sacrifice, a father's flight from within, of ancestors who descended, leaving their feud behind. Their hands in hers, she held them tight, yet flames of hatred burned too bright. She did not waver or despair. She just smiled and gazed upon the sky.
I will use my own fate to prove to you.
The courtyard, once bright, lay steeped in night. Hanging blossoms and wind chimes, all swallowed by the black tide. The general raised her spear, for the noble's sake, while the noble whispered prayers for the general, gentle as the lake.
If I can ever see the faint light again and stay alive.
Then, Outlander Nemesis, you I will forgive.
The death they awaited never came. Instead, a cascade of colors fell from the heavens, simply there, protecting them both. The sky still burned, dark and low, yet her words lingered, a gentle ember refusing to fade.
I will use my own fate to prove to you. Day and night can be mended, and so can hatred be undone.
Noch mehr?
Sky Castrum, its ruins, like a blind and weary eye, gazes upon the earth in its dying sight. Alone, the girl remained upon the battlefield. No time to shy from the searing gold, no will to wear her usual smile. She fought her way to destiny's edge. Of the crumbled mural, but one piece endured. A corner portraying the day thunder night, dazzling in blaze. She placed her hand upon the mural. Pain seared through skin and bone, as the picture claimed her within its lines.
Nothing is mightier than the sky. It holds countless wonders within its clouds, and each opening and closing of the eyes brings dawn and dusk.
In that painted world, the girl Celiosi's eyes glowed, watching her father, steel-clad and unyielding, cross the land beneath the searing sun. But the girl known as Hyacinth recalled her father's fragile light in the dark, the journeys into lands unknown, marked by endless sunlit days and restless winds.
The sky is the gentlest of all. It watches over all things with compassion, showering them with soft rain and morning light.
And yet, the sky remains so cold. It witnesses believers tear each other apart. And still, it cowardly flees from all responsibility.
Within the frame of that image, the one called Celiosi bore fury in her gaze, her golden blood trailing as she turned from home, sharpening arrowheads beneath the wide and barren sky. Hyacinth remembered her grandmother's song. She recalled her prayer to Aquila before her grandmother's journey, and how bitterness followed her to an unknown land.
But the sky is so lonely too. Forever distant from the world beneath, it watches every sorrow, unable to intervene.
No. The sky must be merciless. It must scorch the wicked, temper the fragile, and pass divine judgment upon all human wickedness.
Within the mural, the girl named Celiosi became the divine eye, gazing down without mercy, a titan passing judgment upon her own kind. But in memories deep, Hyacinth heard their call, the golden threads that shielded all, the burning sun, vast and unyielding, carrying the weight of all the world had known.
No, the sky must not forsake kindness. Through its boundless embrace, it carries the core flame of hope for humanity.
The sky, it's so dark, so cold.
In the depths of memory, the girl named Seliosi pulls her knees to her chest and trembles.
Then please, come sit in my courtyard.
A gentle ray of light seeped through. The celestial mural now fused anew. Once more, the land knows favor and boons. The girl who has now become the sky takes the hand of the girl who once was.
I want to tell you the secret of the sky's greatness. Whenever the anguished earth looks to it, it always offers a smile in return. Final? Perhaps you're more suited to being a teacher's assistant.
There was once those who misunderstood his alias. Final. An eventuality for students. A test for knowledge gained. It may bring wisdom to light and illuminate efforts, but the word's more common meaning is nothing less than the end.
That's quite ominous.
The man pretended to be surprised and responded with a smile.
Though it does dovetail with our destiny.
Laughter resounds. The man walks the land, leaving footprints filled with joy. Despite the weight of the past, he can always laugh it away. Those nearby glance at each other, unsure of how to respond.
Perhaps I was just born easygoing.
His explanation is just as carefree.
Look at Mighty and Professor Anaxa. Boys all grow up into serious adults. But as long as I keep smiling, Akuma will always have an upbeat, shining young man.
Though having said